Day 9 brought us from Split in Croatia to Sarajevo in Bosnia Herzegovina. It's a distance of 304 kilometers and it was giving us a travel time of about 5 hours, even though it didn't feel like that. Well, we were making a stop in Mostar on the way anyway. The one thing I didn't notice when you leave Croatia and cross the border into Bosnia, Bosnia is more Eastern influenced. It's like actually going from west to east when you cross the border. The one thing you noticed immediately once you cross into Bosnia is the amount of mosques. Like they're dotted along the road. Every small town and village seems to have its own mosque, if not two. So it's the one thing you notice immediately once you cross into Bosnia-Herzegovina. So our first stop in Bosnia was the town of Mostar. Now when we got there we were driving around looking for a place to park. A guy comes out and says he has parking for €5 for the whole day, and then you're wondering to yourself, is it safe to leave the bike on the side of the street? You know when you're in these strange places you're not sure whether they're safe or not. But anyway, look, we left the bikes on the side of the street. We didn't pay for the parking, and when we came back they were fine anyway. Now we went into the town itself and it's really quaint, all cobble streets, loads of shops, stalls. Just really different vibe about the place, totally different, more of an Eastern feel, more of a kind of Turkish feel or something like that, It was really, really nice now. I enjoyed it anyway, but the main reason we went to Mostar was to see the famous bridge. Now it's called Stari Most, which means old bridge, and it was originally built in 1557 and it took 9 years to build it. It was actually the widest man-made arch at the time. Now that stood for 427 years until the Croat-Bosniak War, and it was destroyed in 1993. But it was later rebuilt and it was reconstructed using the same Ottoman techniques that it was originally built with. Oh, just another thing about the bridge. While you're there, you might see some local men jumping off the bridge. Seemingly this was a custom back in the day. They used to jump off the bridge to prove their love to their intended, to their fiancé or whatever. It was a way of showing their love, but now they'll jump off the bridge if the tourists gather up 50 quid and give it to them. So I suppose it's just a way of making money. Now we did see a lad jumping off the bridge, and believe me, when you're looking at it, it's an awful long way down, but unfortunately I didn't capture it on video. But anyway, after walking on the bridge and seeing it, we went to one of the local mosques. Actually you can see it here, and if you look halfway up on the steeple there's actually a bit of a walkway around it, so we went up there to have a look back at the bridge. Now the views from up there are absolutely spectacular, and if you are going to Mostar, do go to that mosque and climb to the top there and have a look down. The only thing I'll say is the concrete steps on the way up to that are very, very tight, and while you're up there, if there's other people coming up and you're trying to get down, you could end up going back up 3 or 4 times or maybe 10 times before you actually do get back down again. But anyway, definitely well worth going up there. Now the mosque itself is well worth a look round, but I suppose the main reason people go there is for the view back to the bridge, but nevertheless worth a look. After we left the mosque, we headed back to the bikes. Now while we were heading back to the bikes, one of the street traders asked us where we were going. We told him we were heading for Sarajevo, and he said to us the road from Mostar to Sarajevo that the scenery on it was spectacular, and he was not wrong. It was actually one of the nicest drives of the trip. The scenery was spectacular. It really was something to see. we arrived in Sarajevo, we found a hotel, nice little small spot, you can see it there. The staff were really nice, really helpful. It was kind of a little boutique hotel. So we headed up to the room, got a shower, changed, and headed out to get something to eat. Now we found a nice little place on a back street where we had some local food. I also had a cup of the Bosnian coffee. Now I tell you, that had strip wallpaper, so it would. You want to be in the full of your health to drink it. It's very strong. It takes it about 10 minutes to settle or so, but very, very strong. But after that then we headed on down into the town and had a walk around. Very similar to Mostar, same kind of feel, nice vibe about it, lots of small shops and stalls and stuff for buying souvenirs and that. Really nice place, enjoyed it. Gary even picked up a little souvenir and played us a tune on it.
Thank you.
Alright, go ahead, play us a tune there, play us a tune.
Come on, follow me.
So with the shopping out of the way, we headed down to the spot where on the 28th of June 1914 Archduke Franz Ferdinand and his wife Sophie were assassinated. Now a young Bosnian Serb called Gavrilo Princip assassinated him and his wife on that day, and the reason being that Bosnia was under the control of the Austria-Hungarian Empire and he wanted it to be part of Serbia or come under Serbian control, so they took the law into their own hands and assassinated them anyway. But this was the flashpoint for the beginning of the First World War, because the Austria-Hungarian Empire declared war on Serbia shortly after, which led to the World War. But it was just nice to visit the site because we had already been in Compiègne in France, where the armistice that brought an end to the First World War was signed, so it was nice to see this, especially when we were here in Sarajevo. So at the end of what was a very memorable day, we got the cable car up to the top of the hill and looked back down on the town of Sarajevo. Now it's really nice up there. If you're ever in Sarajevo, definitely get the cable car up and look back down at the city. When you get up there, you can actually walk down a little bit to where there's a viewing point and just sit there and look down over the city. It was really beautiful that evening. The sun was setting and it was really nice. I'd highly recommend it. Now overall, the Bosnian experience was excellent. From the time we got to Mostar to the time we left Sarajevo, I totally enjoyed the whole thing. The scenery on the road from Mostar to Sarajevo was breathtaking. So if you ever get a chance, do visit. It's well worth it. I'll probably go back again myself if I ever get the chance. So that was it for day 9. So see you in the next one.